Hello YouTubers, this is AD.VideoEditor here, and today's tutorial is on Sony color curves, so let's get right into it. This tutorial is pretty simple, but it might be a little confusing, so pay attention. So as usual, you're going to click the icon in the lower right hand corner for the video effects, and you'll notice when you hover over it, it says Event Effects. And then in this window, you're just going to select Sony Color Curves, click Add, and OK. And then this line appears. And this line you could relate to as a graph. So this graph, it's just a straight line showing that the white and the blacks and the brightness is all equal, which makes a normal look. But if I were to adjust it, and the way to adjust it is to first you see it, the blue points, that's where you can adjust it from. Then you should have a dot connected to it by a little line. And if you click that, your 4-arrowed cursor should appear and you can move it. So if I were to move this up, like all the way up, you notice that my video gets very bright. And that is because the lower blue square represents the darkness, and the upper blue square represents the lightness. So with this, it goes straight up to the lightness, rather than when it was a line, it was very consistent and even. But here, there's a lot more brightness being selected than darkness. And you can also see this by your little color lever here, showing how little darkness there is and how much brightness there is. But if I also go ahead and bring this back down, it gets very gray, because the brightness is up here, darkness is down here, but the majority of all this is in the middle. So that would just be the in-between grays being selected. But you'll notice there still is some, it's not all gray. You still have my green shirt, which looks blue. And that's just because the way this not really a line anymore, this strange curvy thing, is it's a little weird the way it adjusts it, plays with the brightness high, the low. And so the curvier you get, I don't know how to describe it, like the weirder you can make it. You see, like you can always play around with this and get a pretty cool effect. And if you want to add a new point to this, so you don't have to always adjust from these two blue squares, just double click anywhere on your rounded line, I'll say, and then you can move that separately and, create a cool looking video effect. I mean, I think that looks pretty cool right there. Let me bring this back to default. And not only can you adjust brightness and darkness, you can also change red, green, and blue. So with the red, of course, the high is red, the low is black. So the more red in there, the redder it gets, the less you're taking out red, which causes it to look blue. Then we have your green. So high is green, low is like a purplish pink. And lastly, you have your blue. So high is bringing blue, and down is putting in like yellow. And so this effect, you might be like, well, why can't I just use the color correction to change the color? But that's because that just changes everything to a specific color. While this, you can literally play around with how that color is transmitted and add many points, make a weird looking line that just changes the way however the colors are presented. And it just affects the highs, the lows, the way each color looks. I don't know how else to describe it, but this one I'll say is a little bit more custom, while the other one's a little bit more easier. So go ahead, play around with this, adjust it, make weird lines, and you'll be surprised at what you like. You might find something that works for your video. So when you want to create a new video effect, and then you might be like, I know what I want it to look like, but I don't know how to make it look like that. Well, you can use this and make it look like that. Well, guys, I hope you were able to follow me on this tutorial, and please continue to practice with this, because I can guarantee you it's a cool one if you can input it in your video someplace. Well, please continue to watch my videos for the rest of the month, and I will see you tomorrow. And please remember to subscribe and like and comment and all that stuff.